Well, local college is now looking to fill the spot of a longtime Del Mar regent and board chair who retired last month. But that doesn't mean Trey McCampbell is done trying to make changes. He has served as a regent since 2004 and board chair for the past 10 years. He says the 3 bond programs he has been involved with focus on improving the east and west campuses and designing a 3rd campus on the south side. He says updating the 2 campuses has been especially important.
We have aging campuses and we need to bring the infrastructure up to speed. But secondly, we're able to put in modern and up-to-date classrooms with the type of styles and facilities and technology that the way students want to learn. Let's face it, some of us, like me, are older, and the way I learned going to Del Mar College back in the 70s is totally different than the way students do today.
It's a wonderful.
Well, candidates must live in the Del Mar College District and present a letter of interest to the college. The deadline to apply, 5 p.m. on January 31st. The chosen person will fill out the remaining term.